one of the biggest challenges we had with Batman as a game was it wasn't enough to create a beautifully polished, fun game that follows the movie. We had to do something that players wanted to pick up the joystick and the controller over and over again.
The look and the feel of the game is going to be more realistic, more gritty, and I think it would be most appealing of all the Batman's films and games that have come before.
My role is to facilitate the relationship between the filmmakers and the game's creators and make sure the game's creators have access to all the film assets that they need.
At the beginning of the production, we spent a lot of time showing the game to the filmmakers. We sat down with them and we got their vision of how the film was going to be so that we could translate it into the game. And throughout production, we've shown them the game as it's been created.
The biggest contribution that they provide for us that's the most valuable is getting their take on the direction that they're going with the film. Because we want to make sure that we establish consistency, and we want to make sure that Batman Begins game continues to further that experience.
We couldn't have made the game the way that we have without their help, because they just gave us total access to the sets, to every aspect of the production that we could ever imagine.
The producers, Emma Thomas and Chuck Robin, fantastic in helping us. I mean, those guys were literally helping us treat this game like a mini movie.
We've just received the blueprints from the sets, the costume designs, the weapon designs, test footage of the Batmobile being driven before it even had a body on it. Amazing stuff, really.
This film has a really distinct feel, probably different from any Batman movie that there's been before, and I think it was essential to recreate that in the game, and I think that's really happened here.
We want any notions players have had of the past Batman, good or bad, want to sort of put them to the side, start from scratch, and here you are. The new Batman is in your hands.
Batman Begins is all about how Batman became Batman. And I think the audiences for both the Batman Begins game as well as the movie are going to have a different connection, more of a more real connection with the characters that are in the film, both good and bad.
Product, we wanted to really capture the essence and the personality of Batman himself.
You know who I am. The Batman. Please, don't eat my soul.
That's something the fans demand of the film, and they demand that of the game.
Batman lives in Gotham City. Gotham City is a dark city. It's a city that, although has a lot of hope, has a lot of crime in it. So the look and feel of Batman's Gotham is this crime-ridden city that needs to be cleaned up, that needs to have an Avenger.
The Gotham in the film is very decaying, which is why Bruce Wayne wants to come back from his Playboy antics and save Gotham. It's really disgusting and full of trash and garbage at the bottom, and then as you work your way up higher and higher, it gets more elegant and nicer because the rich people live up at the top and the poor people live at the bottom. It's kind of a metaphor. The game is pretty vertical. Most games you run around in the horizontal plane, but the game, you really are encouraged to go up to a high point and take an observation from above and then sort of survey your surroundings and then act on it. So the game's all a lot about intimidation and fear. So you'll go up to a high point and maybe fire a batarang down at an enemy and scare the hell out of them. So they don't know what's going on, and then you'll jump in and fight them.
Batman! He's here!
But Batman is the ultimate game character because he's a superhero, but he's not omnipotent. So, you know, you've got to play him. You've got to be good. He's got gadgets. He's got a car. He's got acrobatics. He's got martial arts, but he's still human. So he rides that fine line where it's a lot of fun to play because you know at any given time you can run into a foe or an obstacle greater than you. Yet, if you're really good at what you do, you'll overcome it.